Morning. So this Saturday, August 1st, we are going to be at the Steel Horse Ranch in Cairo, Michigan for the Hope on Two Wheels ride. Our friends over at Ride with Purpose are putting this on to send at-risk youth to camp. It's $200 per child to send them to camp, and we're going to be there to help support them and raise money for this. If anything has to do with kids, I want to help out. I enjoy doing things for kids. There's so many different organizations that already do things for veterans and do things for pets and do things for this and that and everything you can think of. And there are a lot of organizations that do things for kids, but you don't hear a lot about them. So this is something that we're going to do for them. So don't forget, August 1st, this coming Saturday, Steel Horse Ranch in Cairo, Michigan is the start of the ride. And then it hits, don't quote me on this because I'm probably going to butcher it, but it's going to go from the Steel Horse Ranch to the bank to, I think, Buck Wilds and Fosteria to something field, outfield. Like I said, don't quote me, but it is going to end at the Whiskey Jar in Brown City. So again, we hope to see you guys there. This is for kids. Come on out. Anywho, look at the shop extension has begun. So we had this concrete poured. I backfilled it last Friday and I soaked it with water to help kind of compact the soil because we're going to be driving 80,000 pound trucks across here come harvest. So we needed this to kind of get packed down and get it hard for harvest. That's coming up in a few months. I'm going to insulate and sheet this section of the truss like I did over there. The tarp wall is going to get moved back, things like that to extend the shop for the winter time, because of the fact that the longer delivery trucks were, like in the winter time, we'd have the doors shut so we could heat the shop, and they were pushing into the tarp wall a good like 2 feet, and you had to like climb through the truck to get to the other side. So by moving this 8 feet, that gives us enough room to walk around the truck, work on the trucks as we need to, things like that this winter. But I'm also going to go around and do a crop tour, and I figured I'd take you guys with me and show you how the crops are progressing throughout the summer. We have put down our extra nitrogen for the corn already. So the corn's growing very tall. I have some fields that are 10 feet tall, some fields that are like 8 feet tall, and some that are like 6 feet tall. Corn's looking really good. Soybeans are looking really good. We are having an issue with water hemp coming back growing up through the bean fields. We've been dealing with that. I actually went out last week with a backpack sprayer and I hand sprayed some spots in the field where the water hemp is coming through. But that is an issue we're going to have to deal with this fall, and hopefully we can eradicate the problem for next spring, but we'll see. I have also been working on the computer here, getting a list of stuff that I know from remembering what's wrong with the combine. Some things that are worn out on the combine are like the feeder house chain, the clean grain elevator chain, things like that we need to replace on the combine this year before we start running it. I'm probably a good month away from pulling the combine out and start going through that and going through the heads and getting things ready for harvest. Usually September is when I'll do it, but about the end of August I might do it this year, just to kind of get ahead of the curve a little bit. Company is coming back out to pour another slab on the approach to the barn here, because we're wanting a slab of concrete poured out there that we can power wash on and not be standing in the mud while we're power washing things, because I don't know how many times you've been power washing something and the mud from the ground is splashing up on whatever you're washing, and it gets to be a pain in the butt. They gave us a very good price on concrete, so what we're going to do is probably later this week I'm going to dig out where this pad is going to be, and while that is curing, because you can't drive in the concrete for 2 weeks while it's curing, we're going to use the side door over there to bring whatever we need to into the shop and work on it for the 2 weeks while this is curing out here. At any rate, let's go look at some crops before it might rain. We're going to take a little walk here. This is the new property that we just picked up this year. This is our first year farming this ground. The issue is it was a hayfield, and it was a hayfield for a lot of years. We had absolutely no history of crops growing on this farm at all, and we didn't know anything about it. So it was kind of one of those things where went and sprayed the hayfield off, killed it, worked it up the best we could, and kind of went from there. The issue we're having here is this. See the double ears? Double ears? Hang on, let me answer this. Alright, sorry about that. This field has a lot of double ears and even triple ears on corn. And the reason for that is, see, like there, 2 ears, 2 ears, 2 ears. This one, here's a triple ear. 1, 2, 3. The reason you get double ears or triple ears is there's 3 reasons. 1, it could be the variety or the genetics of the corn, which I know that's not the case because of the fact that we planted this same variety in other fields and we don't have the issue going on. 2, it could be early spring planted stress, which I planted this field early. It did get a little stressed by not getting adequate rain after I planted it. That could be one problem. Or 2, spacing, population. If you have too much space in between your plants, they don't have competition with each other, so they'll grow multiple ears. And I feel that's the issue we're having, because look at the spacing you have here. You got one plant here, and then there's like a foot in between them. I planted this farm, same population I plant everything else, and the issue I was having was I wasn't getting good seed to soil contact when I was planting this farm because of the fact that there was a lot of root structure still in the ground from it being a hayfield. So it was really clumpy, like there was balls of stuff laying around, which creates air gaps in between the soil. So if the seed falls in one of those air gaps, it doesn't have good seed to soil contact, doesn't grow well. And we knew going into this farm that we didn't know what the yield was going to be. We didn't know anything about it. This one was a gamble. The corn plants are tall, they're healthy, they look good. There's absolutely no tar spots anywhere that I'm seeing. I'm impressed with how well they're growing. But the double ears and triple ears could be a problem in the future. Typically you want that 12 to 14 inch ear that's, you know, that big around, and it has corn kernels all the way around and several rows of corn. Like your ear could have 20 rows of corn on it, 20 rows of corn kernels on it, which is good. But when you get double, you're not getting all the nutrients and everything to just one cob. It's going to multiple cobs, so it's not getting that cob to grow big. So you could have one that's got 4 rows of kernels on it, another one that's got 4 rows of kernels on it, another one that's got 3 rows of kernels on it. And that's going to be an issue because it's going to lower your yield. Rather than all the nutrients going to one ear and producing a very large ear. But it is what it is. I'm hoping this still produces a fair amount of corn and we get a fair yield out of it, but I'm not holding my breath. I'm actually here trying to find a stalk with just one ear on it so I can show you the difference between one ear and 2 ears, how big the cobs themselves are. But literally every one of these have double ears. And that's an issue here. I guess we'll go to another field and find, so I can compare single ear corn and show you how big the ears are for single corn versus these doubles. The plants look healthy though. I will give them that. We're going to harvest this field this fall, chisel plow it, and then soybeans will go on this farm next year. Alright, so this cornfield is the exact same variety. And, well, you can see how tall it is. Well, that's a bad reference. What's the chances of me pulling up to a one? Oh, that's just bad showmanship. Let me hang on. Ugh. All right. Look at these ears. They're up to my shoulders. Ugh. We have some raccoon damage in here. We have a lot of raccoon damage. Holy cow. This is what raccoons do. They pull the ears, they pull the whole stalk right down to the ground and strip the ears. But, oh man, we have a bad raccoon problem here. But at any rate, you can see all the nutrients is going to that one cob, which is making it grow a lot taller and fatter. This field looks really good, other than the raccoon damage. We have a lot of raccoon damage. Holy cow. Oh, we have deer damage here. See what the deer are doing? The deer will leave the stalk and just eat the top of the corn. Look at this. Holy cow. See? I'd say that's a pretty good indication that there's a lot of deer in this area. Look, it's in the middle of the field. They got like a fort going on. They got a corn fort going on. There's another big raccoon damage over here. Look at this. Holy crap. We have a huge problem with animals. Major problem with animals here. Look at this. They're just having a heyday in here. Oh my gosh. But look at the size of those ears already. Hopefully we can harvest this before they eat it all. Look at that. Be a farmer, they said. It'll be fun. And it's hard to explain. I wish there was smell-o-vision, because it smells like a barnyard in here. There's so much feces laying around from eating this corn. It is terrible. This is kind of disheartening. Driving by, the field looks good. I mean, look at that. Till you walk in a few rows. See, the animals are smarter than they lead on. They're like, we'll go in, we'll eat the inside of the field. They won't know what's going on. Garbage. Now, to be perfectly honest with you, that's not exactly what I expected to be filming today, but I'm not gonna lie, I show the good things and the bad things on the whole farm life stuff, and right there's the bad things. I'm hoping this field here is like about 100 acres. I'm hoping it's just contained to that little spot, maybe a couple more, but I'm hoping they don't get into the whole field. Might have to do a little coon hunting or something in the evening here and figure out what's going on. We apparently have a bad raccoon problem. I knew we had a lot of deer in this area, but I'm guessing the raccoons are outweighing the deer at this point. I just got a notification that some of my packages have arrived at home, and I want to get them before the rain hits, if it hits. So I'm going to cut out a little early, go home, get my packages, and work on the bike build. I think I'm going to end the video here because you guys can't see the bike build just yet, and kind of go from there. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.